Silent battlefields, where historic photos whisper the untold stories of war and human memory. Around 1943, in the midst of the fierce European battlefield, General Kurt Student, the symbol of the German airborne forces, was talking to the officers of the Junkers Ju-88 unit. His stern eyes and decisive gestures showed the authority and strategic vision that made him famous as the father of the German paratroopers. This moment encapsulated the iron discipline and air power of Nazi Germany in World War II. In May 1941, on the rocky roads of Crete, German paratroopers marched silently through a scene of devastation. The bodies of British soldiers lay scattered on both sides, a testament to the fierce battle that had just taken place. The harsh sunlight shone on the tired but determined figures, a tragic moment that revealed the cruelty of war and the resilience of those who never gave up. In the mist-shrouded Sutjeska Valley, exhausted Yugoslav partisans bravely retreat through the treacherous terrain. They carry their wounded, their weapons, and their fragile hope amid the hell of war. The photo seems to freeze a life-and-death moment where courage and despair blend, a testament to the indomitable power of humanity in the face of brutality and destruction. In the skies above Athens in 1941, German Luftwaffe Dornier Do-17Zs soar over the immortal symbol of Greece, the Acropolis. In that moment, both majestic and somber, history and war collide. Ancient beauty meets the storm of modern steel. This photograph captures more than just a flight, but a breathtaking moment when human civilization stands before the darkness of war. In the early 1940s at Fort Bragg, amid the build-up to war, young soldiers found joy in everyday moments. They laughed, shared stories, and temporarily forgot the darkness that was spreading across the world. Warm lights and laughter echoed in the small room, all as a reminder that, even in the darkest of times, people still maintained hope and love for life. Around 1940, in the gloomy forests of Yugoslavia, a Gestapo agent coldly observed a tragic scene. The resistance fighters were tied up, standing between life and death. The atmosphere was heavy. The wind whistled through the trees like a lament for innocent lives. The photo became a haunting reminder, reminding humanity never to forget the price of freedom and courage in wartime. The photograph captures a horrific moment in history. Under the shadow of the Nazi helmets and expressionless faces, a group of women are dragged into the middle of the street, bewildered, naked, and without any choice. The silent sound of helpless hands, the fateful gaze forward, all serve as a warning that humanity can lose its dignity and freedom in a single moment. This historic photograph captures a haunting moment during the war in China. Amidst the devastation, innocent civilians face severe punishment at the hands of the occupying forces. Behind the lens is the pain of a nation, a reminder of the terrible consequences of war and violence. The photo not only records the past, but also reminds humanity of the value of peace and humanity. In the middle of Medova Street, Lviv, July 1941, a desperate woman runs in terror, her clothes torn, her screams echoing through the hate-filled crowd. Men and young men with batons chase her, their eyes clouded by rage and violence. The photo is not just a moment of war, it is a tragic indictment of human cruelty when hatred overcomes humanity. The photograph, taken in Hungary during World War II, captures the moment when hundreds of Jews were rounded up and prepared to be shipped to Auschwitz. Amid the bleak scene, the faces are filled with anxiety, mothers clutching their children, old men leaning on canes. All exude fear and despair. The image not only reflects the tragedy of a people, but is also a heartbreaking reminder of the devastating consequences of discrimination and war. The P-51 Mustang, is considered a masterpiece of World War II aviation engineering and one of the most effective fighters ever flown by the Allies. Originally designed for the Royal Air Force, the P-51 quickly became the pride of the United States Army Air Forces, thanks to its perfect combination of speed, range, and firepower. When equipped with a Rolls-Royce Merlin V12 liquid-cooled engine, the Mustang could reach a top speed of over 700 kilometers per hour and a range of over 2,500 kilometers, enough to escort squadrons of B-17 and B-24 bombers deep into German airspace and return safely. With its optimized aerodynamic design, slender fuselage, and advanced laminar flow wings that reduce drag, the P-51 demonstrated incredible maneuverability in air combat. Armed with 6.50 caliber Browning machine guns, the Mustang could destroy everything from enemy fighters to trains and tanks on the ground. The most famous version, the P-51D, featured a bubble cockpit for all-round visibility and was the most produced variant. More than just an escort, the P-51 excelled in ground attack, reconnaissance, and even close support for infantry. From the skies of Europe to the Pacific, the P-51 Mustang was more than just a fighting machine. It was a symbol of American air superiority, a testament to the spirit of human ingenuity, tenacity, and the will to win in wartime. The Focke-Wulf FW-190, the second pride of the German Air Force after the Messerschmitt Bf 109, was dubbed the Wolf of the European Sky. When it was officially launched in 1941, this fighter stunned the Royal Air Force, RAF, because it possessed outstanding speed, excellent maneuverability, and extremely powerful firepower, enough to confront, even overwhelm, the early British Supermarine Spitfires. Designed by engineer Kurt Tank, the FW-190 was a testament to the sophistication of German aviation engineering. The first version, the FW-190A, used a BMW 801 radial engine with a capacity of 1,600 horsepower, providing impressive acceleration and high mechanical durability, a great advantage in fierce air battles. The fuselage was built solidly but still neat. The cockpit had excellent visibility to help the pilot control flexibly in all situations. Armed with the 20mm MG 151/20 cannon and the MG-17 machine gun, the FW-190 could easily destroy enemy bombers or fighters in just a few short bursts. Focke-Wulf continued to improve the aircraft to meet the harsh demands of the battlefield. The FW-190 F and G series were optimized for ground attack, carrying bombs, rockets, and even belly guns to destroy Allied tanks. The pinnacle of development was the FW-190D, Dora, equipped with a more powerful Junkers Jumo 213 inline engine, allowing the aircraft to reach speeds of over 680 kilometers per hour, enough to challenge even the most modern opponents of the late war, such as the P-51 Mustang. In total, more than 20,000 FW-190s were produced, serving on all fronts, from fierce dogfights over France and Russia to escort, interception, and tactical bombing missions. For many German pilots, the FW-190 was the most ideal aircraft they had ever flown. Powerful, versatile, and reliable. Today, the Focke-Wulf FW-190 is still regarded by aviation historians as one of the finest piston fighters ever built, a perfect counterweight to the British Spitfire and the American Mustang, a symbol of engineering, power, and ferocity in the skies of World War II. The Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress. The legendary Flying Fortress of the United States Air Force is a symbol of strength, courage, and resilience in World War II. Born in the mid-1930s, The B-17 was America's first four-engine heavy bomber, designed to conduct strategic bombing missions at high altitudes during the day with great precision. The reason it was called the Flying Fortress was because the fuselage was covered with up to 13 12.7mm Browning machine guns, arranged in almost every direction: nose, tail, belly, sides, and upper turret, turning it into a flying block of steel that could defend itself against fierce attacks by German fighters. With its durable airframe and extraordinary ability to withstand damage, the B-17 became a legend of tenacity. Many returned to base in tattered condition, wings torn, one or two engines out, even missing the tail section, but still landed safely. That's what earned the pilots and crews the reverent nickname, the comrade who never dies. Throughout the war, the B-17 played a key role in the U.S. 8th Air Force's bombing campaigns over Europe, particularly in the battles for Berlin, Hamburg, and Schweinfurt. These missions were not only aimed at destroying Nazi industry, but also at weakening the enemy's fighting spirit. B-17 squadrons often numbered in the hundreds, forming huge formations, a majestic and haunting sight, with white smoke trails stretching across the smoky skies of Europe. In total, more than 12,700 B-17s were produced, and although they were later replaced by more modern models, such as the B-24 Liberator and B-29 Superfortress, the Flying Fortress name lives on as a symbol of courage and indomitable spirit, a testament to a time when the skies became the most fierce battlefield in human history. The North American B-25 Mitchell, the legendary American medium bomber, is a symbol of courage, versatility, and indomitable fighting spirit in World War II. Named after the pioneering American Air Force General William "Billy" Mitchell, the B-25 proved that power comes not only from size, but also from boldness and sophistication in design. Equipped with two powerful Wright R-2600 Cyclone engines, the B-25 could reach speeds of more than 270 miles per hour, carry up to 3,000 pounds of bombs, and a variety of weapons. From 12.7mm Browning machine guns to 75mm cannons mounted in the nose in some versions. Thanks to its short takeoff capability, good maneuverability, and high stability, the B-25 could operate in a variety of environments, from makeshift runways in the jungles of New Guinea to the decks of aircraft carriers in the middle of the ocean. The B-25's defining moment was the 1942 Doolittle raid, when 16 B-25s were launched from the deck of the USS Hornet to attack Tokyo, an unprecedented feat of daring. Despite heavy losses and no significant strategic damage, the attack raised the morale of the entire U.S. military and put the Japanese Empire on guard. In total, more than 9,800 B-25 Mitchells were produced, serving in almost every theater of war, from Europe, North Africa, to the Pacific. In the hands of experienced pilots, it took on many roles: medium bombing, ground support, anti-submarine warfare, even destroying enemy warships. Today, the roar of the Wright twin engines and the majestic flight of the B-25 still echo in air shows as a reminder of a machine that helped change the course of war. A steel warrior that was both sophisticated and brave, forever etching its name into the history of the world's skies. In the 1940s, amid the bloody Warsaw Uprising, desperate Jews were captured by the Nazis in the Warsaw Ghetto. They were herded into the desolate streets under the cold barrels of guns, their eyes filled with bewilderment and utter fear. Smoke, rubble, and screams combined to create a haunting scene of one of the darkest chapters in human history, a brutal defeat of faith and life. The Consolidated B-24 Liberator was one of the greatest four-engine heavy bombers ever built by the United States during World War II. Designed by Consolidated Aircraft, the B-24 quickly became a mainstay of the United States Army Air Forces, USAAF, and many other allied forces, including the Royal Air Force, the U.S. Navy, and the Canadian Air Force. Unlike its more famous cousin, the B-17 Flying Fortress, the B-24 featured a Davis-type wing design, slender, long, and aerodynamically efficient, which gave it a top speed of over 290 miles per hour, 470 kilometers per hour, and a range of up to 2,200 miles, 3,500 kilometers, surpassing most bombers of its time. Thanks to that, the Liberator can carry out long-range missions, from bombing oil plants in Ploiesti, Romania, to hunting German submarines in the Atlantic, or bombing targets in North Africa and the Pacific region. Carrying up to 3,600 kilograms of bombs and armed with 10 12.7mm Browning machine guns, the B-24 was a nightmare for the Germans and Japanese. Despite its slender frame, the aircraft was remarkably durable, and American pilots called it the steel workhorse of war, unsophisticated but extremely effective. Between 1939 and 1945, more than 18,400 B-24 Liberators were produced, making it the most produced bomber in history. They appeared everywhere, from the deserts of North Africa to remote islands in the Pacific, from makeshift landing strips in Italy to cold bases in England. Today, the B-24 is seen as a symbol of America's industrial might and tireless fighting spirit, a testament to a time when flying fortresses carried not only bombs, but also hope, courage, and belief in the victory of the free world. The Hawker Hurricane was one of the most iconic aircraft of the Royal Air Force, RAF, in World War II, and while it was often overshadowed by its more famous counterpart, the Supermarine Spitfire, it was the Hurricane that truly dominated the Battle of Britain in 1940. Designed by Hawker Aircraft's Sidney Cam, the fighter was a combination of cutting-edge technology and traditional construction. A sturdy, tubular steel frame, a fabric fuselage, and metal wings, making it both easy to manufacture and easy to repair on the front lines. The Hurricane was powered by powerful Rolls-Royce Merlin engines, capable of reaching a top speed of around 330 miles per hour, and carried 8 7.7mm Browning machine guns mounted along the wings, a firepower that could tear apart German bomber formations. While the Spitfire was often assigned to take on the Bf-109, the Hurricane was the nightmare of the heavily armed Heinkel and Dornier squadrons, repeatedly destroying them in the skies over Britain. With over 14,500 produced, the Hawker Hurricane was not only decisive in winning the Battle of Britain, but also served in many other theaters of war, from the deserts of North Africa, the Russian front, to Southeast Asia. Durable, reliable, and effective, the Hurricane is a symbol of quiet strength, representing the resilience and ingenuity of Britain during the darkest period of human history. Nurses, air raid prevention workers, and rescue workers tend to injured hospital patients, waiting on stretchers to be taken to nearby hospitals after an air raid by a Nazi German Vergeltungswaffe Fiesler Fi-103 V1 Doodlebug bomber that hit Lewisham Hospital on the 26th of July, 1944, in London, England. Firefighters use a water hose to extinguish flames and damage on the flight deck of HMS Formidable, an illustrious-class aircraft carrier of the Royal Navy, following a kamikaze air attack by an Imperial Japanese Navy Mitsubishi A6M0 during the Battle of Okinawa on the 4th of May, 1945, off the Sakishima Islands, Okinawa, Japan. In a rare photograph taken at Buchenwald concentration camp, Claire Booth Luce, a famous American politician and diplomat, is seen visiting the prison hospital. Here, she directly talked to Nazi prisoners suffering from tuberculosis, who were part of the cruel death machine. In the gloomy scene, the dialogue was not only humane, but also a testament to the confrontation with the terrible crimes of the fascist regime. On April 12, 1945, in the Merkers salt mine in Germany, General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Supreme Allied Commander, and General Omar N. Bradley, commander of the 12th Army Group, carefully examined a suitcase filled with precious silver. This was part of the huge booty hidden by the Nazis. That moment clearly reflected the brutality of war and the secrets that the Allies gradually discovered. In early 1945, a U.S. Air Force P-51 Mustang fighter jet soared from the runway on Iwo Jima, on a mission to escort and protect long-term bombing missions into Japanese territory. With its superior speed and long range, the P-51 became a steel shield in the sky, effectively supporting B-29s in the final fierce phase of World War II, helping to shape the absolute superiority of the Allies. Zinaida Martinovna Portnovna, a young Belarusian, bravely fought against the Nazis as a partisan in World War II. She became the youngest female soldier to be posthumously awarded the title Hero of the Soviet Union, the country's highest honor. Unfortunately, that glory only came after Zinaida was captured and executed in 1944. Born in Leningrad, she was only 15 when the war broke out. During a summer vacation in Belarus, near the Soviet-German border, Zinaida was suddenly caught in a vicious vortex when German tanks overran her summer camp, leaving her stranded behind enemy lines. From then on, Zinaida chose the path of uncompromising fighting. World War II. Men, women, and children rummaged through the rubble of German bombing raids in London. July 28, 1941, German air raids killed more than 40,000 British civilians during World War II, with Londoners accounting for nearly half the total. German attacks on British cities, using conventional aircraft as well as V-1 and V-2 rockets, continued until March 1945. By then, the war's outcome was long decided, and Allied troops were massing on Berlin. In 1943, the Allies began a bombing campaign against rail and oil targets in Bucharest, part of a broader bombing policy aimed at crippling Germany's transportation system. Bucharest was considered the #1 oil target in Europe. Picture taken on August 1, 1943. When the war broke out, the I-16 was the Soviet Union's main fighter. It was the first high-speed monoplane with retractable landing gear. The introduction of the American gas mask in combat. To protect troops from chemical attacks, the United States issued gas masks widely. Training ensured that soldiers could quickly put on masks when attacked. This protective device saved many lives in the mustard gas environment. Masks became an essential part of combat gear. Their use marked a new era in chemical warfare defense. For much of the war, the Germans had absolute air dominance. The mighty and fearsome Luftwaffe, commanded by Hermann Göring, was the largest and most powerful air force in World War II. They had devastated London during the Battle of Britain. Here, however, the British got at least a small measure of revenge, bombing German-held Abbeville airfield in France. May 1945. Members of the Danish resistance movement escort 2 women arrested for their relations with the Nazis during the war. In 1940, a Jamaican RAF gunner was photographed sitting in the cockpit of an RAF aircraft. The image not only shows the focus and determination on the soldier's face, but also reflects the important role that pilots and gunners from across the colonies played in the fight against fascism. In the cramped space of the cockpit, he had to watch the sky, operate the machine gun, and be ready to respond to any threat. a testament to the courage and quiet contribution of those on the front lines. In March 1945, in the midst of the fierce Battle of Iwo Jima, a Boeing B-29 heavy bomber was forced to make an emergency landing on a runway filled with smoke and flames. Immediately after touching down, the giant plane burst into flames, turning into a fireball in the middle of the battlefield. The image was both tragic and heroic, reflecting the extreme harshness of war and the sacrifices that air crews had to face in each mission. In April 1942, after the daring Doolittle raid, Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle appeared with his crew alongside Chinese officials in a significant historical moment. The photo taken in China shows Zhao Fuqi, party secretary of the West Zhejiang provincial government, standing on the right. This is a testament to the close cooperation between the Allies and the Chinese resistance forces in the war against Japan. In the midst of the brutal Italian campaign during World War II, a U.S. Army soldier is seen intently aiming through the scope of a bazooka during combat training. His face shows concentration and determination, ready for the battles to come. The bazooka, the main anti-tank weapon, symbolizes the technological prowess and indomitable fighting spirit of American soldiers on the European front. In 1938, Nazi shock troops marched through the streets of Germany in an atmosphere of tension and hatred. They carried large signs with the inciting words, "Germans, defend yourselves, don't buy from Jews." The march was not only anti-Semitic propaganda, but also the opening step of a wave of brutal violence and discrimination that would later lead to the Holocaust. This disturbing photograph captures the moment after World War II, when a French woman had her head shaved in public as punishment for allegedly collaborating or having relations with occupying German soldiers. Her face is blank, her eyes blank with shame and hatred, while those around her look on indifferently. The images reveal a dark chapter where honor and revenge collided with post-war rage. Around September 18, 1944, in the newly liberated Belgian town of Aalst, a soldier of the Irish Guard smiled as he accepted a cigar from a local resident. In the jubilant atmosphere after long days of occupation, the small gift became a symbol of gratitude and joy of reunion. This simple yet emotional image depicts the warm military-civilian relationship amid the flames of World War II. On January 29, 1945, in Binalonan, Pangasinan, Luzon, American soldiers, in conjunction with Filipino resistance forces, inspected the scene after a fierce battle. Before them were two Japanese Hago light tanks that had been shot down, lying motionless in the dust of the battlefield. Inside, the Japanese crew members had died, leaving a clear evidence of the Japanese Army's defeat in the campaign to liberate the Philippines. Amidst the bustle of a United Service Organization, USO, event circa 1943, a woman in a bikini gracefully walks among the ranks of smiling and amused American servicemen. Performances and entertainment like this were organized by the USO to ease the war fatigues, bringing joy and optimism to American soldiers serving in World War II. Three young women, Janice Cooper, Marilyn Connor, and Gloria Ellickson, attracted all eyes while sunbathing at Steeplechase Park on Coney Island, New York, in the 1940s. What was special was that they wore unique swimsuits made from World War II Air Force escape maps, a meaningful gift from their pilot boyfriends. The image was both sexy, daring, and full of wartime imprints of a turbulent period. Amidst the sound of drills and metal collisions, these women were not only assembling planes, they were building hope for the world. When men went to war, they became silent warriors in factories. Their soft hands now held tools tightly, their steadfast eyes turned to the bomb-filled sky. War had robbed them of their youth, but it had also turned them into indomitable symbols of strength and courage. Although the war is long gone, its echoes still reverberate in every photo, every story, every scar of humanity. Each like, each subscription of yours is not only a show of support, but also a reminder that we will preserve that memory, so that the painful past will never be repeated.